So, in the future, people are going to do more and more body modifications. Now, some of this is for looks, some of this is going to be for health, and some of it is going to be for other things. You're making yourself stronger, or something like that. So, I can't really ban it or anything because it's going to happen just on the ground, as we've seen happen with everything that people try to ban almost. And it could have health benefits for making people feel more at ease with their body or more able to express themselves or live the lifestyle they want. There is the con that maybe people then feel forced more to have certain types of body modifications by peer pressure, or maybe that it leaves behind people that do not have as much money or resources or can't do it because they're disabled or something, which is an important discussion to have. I want to talk about though right here just about doing it in such a way that is maybe in the future that is safe and stuff. And this technology also might intersect with other surgeries and stuff like that and other health things. One idea I want to promote is just to work on making fat stem cells that can turn into fat from other parts of the body. This could be used to reshape a person's body because these stem cells, what they could do is be injected and make certain parts of your body more voluminous slowly as fat accumulates from you eating. And besides a fast injection and stuff, the, the better use of this than injecting someone with just like a silicone or something like that just faster shapes your body, is that you can then move your body more by slimming down certain parts of your body with exercise, or you can make certain parts of your body bigger more by eating and stuff like that. There's more flexibility in the future. It could even be used maybe as a health means by making more fat being deposited in certain parts of the body that interacts less with heart and internal organs. It might also appear more natural, move more natural, and stuff like that. So, an even more advanced way might be to use it instead of white fat cells, brown fat cells. Now, your body doesn't really produce fat cells very well, and when you're younger, you also have some more types of something called brown compared to white fat. They both store energy, but brown fat is able to burn energy more easily, and it uses that burning of energy to increase metabolism and increase your ability to generate heat, which is a good thing if you live in cold climates and stuff. But it oftentimes can actually help prevent cardiovascular and stuff like that, with just some limited evidence of that, and actually increase health, where white fat cells usually seem to decrease health. That's controversial, but maybe. But all learning about how to grow and culture stem cells and fat cells might lead to it better in other ones in developing these techniques that might help with actual recovering from injuries and stuff. Another idea that I want to promote is to locally inject into muscle cells stuff to make them grow more voluminous and bigger. This kind of sounds very similar to steroids, and I get that. But I'm saying we should do research into making this safe, because anyways people do steroids and muscle enhancing stuff. But if we do research to make it safe, the people that anyways going to do it will do it safer. And one way in the future that might be applicable is like, let's look at the COVID shot or something with mRNA vaccines. Those shots can make your own body produce certain chemicals. Those certain chemicals locally can cause an immune reaction, which causes you to get the vaccine thing. What if we could locally make your body produce chemicals that locally it's like you exercise there, or makes your body more sensitive to exercise, so it's easier for a person to grow muscles. But instead of swallowing a pill, which has more broad effects over the whole body and might have more side effects, it's much more local and controlled. So it gives you the muscles where you want them and not where else. And it might be safer that way. Maybe. Or maybe we can do it so it can be more complex, because when you swallow a pill, the pill goes through your digestive enzymes, for your digestive tract, through a bunch of your liver, your kidney, and all these other things that not only that can modify the pill, change the dosage rates, and do all these other things to it, that really means that the end result might not be as much in the beginning. When if you inject it, it's much more controlled. Now, on the other hand, you'll have to do safe injections and controls and figure out how to do that. I've previously discussed making injections maybe safer by having the idea of little pieces of metal and stuff that you can microwave and mix a little plasma around it that will kill off all germs. Or it would have to be disposable on training stuff. And then also learning how to grow muscles and stuff, and these stuff might be applicable for people that are losing muscles due to muscle dystrophy and related conditions, or it could be useful for growing other tissues. Just some thoughts there about broader uses. Another one is fat removal to skin down to make it pure and certain shape. Now that is already pretty widely done with liposuction and stuff, and that technology is continuing to advance, including ways of sort of heat up local part of the body to melt the fat so it's easy to suck out. The problem with fat removal is that if you remove fat cells from one area, fat cells really do not grow back very well. So that means fat will accumulate now in a new area, which means that number one, or injecting new fat cells and stuff like that might be a good idea. Or we could try to figure out ways of removing fat cells and then taking those fat cells that are removed and putting them in a different part of the body to fix up the whole cycle kind of there. And that then you have the fat where you want it more. Another idea kind of would be to turn white fat cells into brown fat cells more often, so you can more easily burn off the fat because there's a more metabolically active. Then maybe you can burn off the fat if you just turn down the temperature in certain regions, or turn certain regions as an alternative idea. Oh yeah, for the local muscle injection, I've also forgot to mention, maybe the idea would be to put in little electrodes and stuff to stimulate muscles. So they think they're exercising because they get contract and decontract, but you can just be sitting there and they just contract and not on and off many, many, many times. There. So, yet another idea is to be able to grow skin cells in the lab better. And if we can grow skin cells and make better skin cell graft, maybe we can use this to make people have more the ideal skin they want. And one way of doing this could be you grow one type of skin cells that have the same texture or color you want, or to patch up skin. And this could also be very useful for people with skin conditions. This also might be useful in after operations and stuff to cover up an area, or maybe for quick wound healing. And then maybe you can learn about how stuff in the body general grows, use that and elsewhere in the body. So yet another idea is to grow specific types of skin for different people. Some people really want smooth, almost hairless skin. Some people like hairy skin. Some people like this skin with more textures or freckles. Some people don't. And maybe we can learn how to do that in the future. Maybe. Maybe we can't. It'll be interesting, and if we learn more how cells differentiate, well, we can learn it for more other useful parts of medicine, for like how to grow maybe heart cells or something in the future. And maybe if we can grow different types of cells, maybe we can grow them in a more easy form. Let's say skin or fat cells are more easy to grow than heart cells, and we're tame and stuff, and then we change them into heart cells later on when it's more useful for us to have heart cells because of an upcoming surgery or something. Another idea I want to promote is the idea of what one can call inject and stretch. That is to put something into a part of the body and we slowly inject it, and that slowly stretches out, either by repeated injections or this thing accumulates fluids by some mechanism that slowly stretches out the region, or this thing could, by some other mechanism, maybe it's a device that slowly expands because it heats up and has something that expands while heat up. Maybe it has something that pumps in air into it that expands slowly over time. Maybe it has a chemical reaction that goes on. Or maybe it grows itself and expands an area. But by expanding an area, it might actually also be useful later on in surgery and stuff, because if you have an expanded area, maybe the skin there is a little bit more loose. It might make it an easier access site for someone to cut away at, actually. And maybe that'll be, or it might lead to more skin grafts later on after surgery or something. So they grow a little extra region of skin they can remove and use in an emergency or something like that. Or you might even grow part of the body bigger so you can put something in that region of the body later on, like an artificial organ. Just some quick thoughts there. Well, thank you very much for listening. Please like and subscribe. It really helps turn out. Trying to reach 1,000 subscribers in a year, 4,000 watch hours. It's really hard, but you help I think I do it. Again, thank you much. Goodbye.